Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel, and as you can probably see by the title, it's going to be another trade recap. I just want to start off by saying at the start of this video that I'm going to be trading solely the phantom trading style, which means, I'm going to be entering on the 1 minute chart. So if this, if that kind of trading provides any value, then happy days, but that's what I'm going to be doing from now on, focusing on the 1 minute entries and the phantom trading style. So without further ado, let's just jump right into this recap. So this was a trade that I took yesterday. As you can see on the date at the bottom, it was the 12th of April 2022, and I'm just going to start on the daily chart here. So if I just zoom out a little bit, as you can see, we've been bearish on the daily since, probably around the start of March. So we've been bearish on the daily, and what I was seeing is we've broke this low here. So we've broke this low. Let's just make this a solid black line. So we broke this low, we've come down, we've had a pullback, and then we broke and closing below on this low here. So at the moment we're making lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, and after a break of structure, we are probably expecting a little bit of a pullback into like the EQ or the premium of the, the daily range. So at the moment that's what I'm seeing on the daily chart, and dropping down now to the 4 hour. On the 4 hour, we have had a break. So we've had a break up here, then we broke down here. So if I just zoom in a little bit and just show you what I was seeing. So we had a break here, we've broken down here. So for me, this was a break of structure because this is measuring at 69.7 pips. And if you've seen my market structure video, you will know that I look for a 40 pip pullback before considering it a break of structure. So that was a break of structure to the downside, that was a break of structure to the upside, this was a break of structure to the upside, downside, and again we got a break of structure to the downside. So at the moment, what you'll see is that we are bearish on both the daily and the 4 hour, but what I take into account mostly, and especially when I'm entering on the 1 minute chart, is the 15-minute time frame, and the 15-minute time frame is my bias for whether I'm taking buys or whether I'm taking sells. So dropping down onto the 15-minute, what you'll see on the 15-minute is that we have come down, we've had a pullback, we've broke the low here. So we broke the low. If I just make that a little bit smaller. So we've broke the low here, we've pulled back, we've then come down, tapped into this demand here. And ultimately, what is most important here is that we've failed to break the low. So we've failed to come down and break the low. We've seen a nice reaction from this demand, which means this high is now weak because it's failed to do its job and put in a new low. Therefore, it is targeted, and as you can see, we've come up and we've actually taken out this high. Well, it would actually be this high because we've not broken structure down. So we've taken out this high. We've had a close above it. So at the moment, the 15-minute is now bullish. So what I was seeing now is we've come down, we've had a tap into this demand, we've seen a surge in price which has broken the structure, and it's left this lovely little demand zone here. So what I like about this demand zone is it's an extreme demand of this leg. It's unmitigated, it's engulfed. There's a lot of things going for this demand zone, and if you want me to do a video on what I like to see for demand zones, I'm happily to drop a video about that. So yeah, as you can see, we've come up and we are coming back to this demand zone sort of correctively, and at the moment all I was looking for is waiting for a tap into my POI. So I would be dropping down to the 1 minute chart, and at this moment in time we haven't yet tapped in, and we get a little pullback here, and the next candle it does come into my POI aggressively. And at this moment what I was seeing is, are we going to react to this demand? Are we going to react and come in aggressively and then come straight back out aggressively? Because if we do, then that would be a good sign that we would be turning bullish. And another sign would be a change of character. So for me, this would be a change of character to the downside. Obviously, you don't have to mark the change of character down. The most important would be this change of character to the upside. So a chalk up. And once this high gets broken, that's the first signal that we are going to, turn bullish. So the very next candle is a very nice candle and a very nice reaction to this demand. And then the very next candle after that does take out the chalk high, giving us our change of character. So we've now had a change of character, and what I was looking for next is a reaction to this supply zone up here. So I was looking for a reaction to this supply zone, and at this moment in time we get a little bit of a pullback. We don't tap into it straight away, but we do tap into it around now, and then we do eventually get a reaction to it. So we start now getting a reaction, and at this moment I was just waiting for a fail of this reaction and a fail of this supply zone before looking to get involved. So we come a little bit further down, and eventually we do end up taking out the supply zone. So once we took out the supply zone, I was looking, where can we now get involved in this trade? So we've come up, we've come down, we've come up again, tapped into the supply, come back down and swept this low here. So for me this was a sweep of the low, and what this did is it gave me confidence to get involved on this sweet wick right here. So I took my little tool, drew this out, and I was happy to get involved at the open as long as it gave me a 2 pip stop. So I put that there, and it did actually give me a 2 pip stop. So if we zoom in a little bit, as you can see, the 2 pip stop covers this low, and if this trade is valid, we obviously would be coming back down, getting tapped in, and if the trade was valid, it would then obviously go up without coming down and taking us out. So playing price forward now, we don't get tapped in straight away, but what you'll see is we come back and we come into our entry and we get tapped in quite aggressively. And at this moment in time I was thinking, are we going to get taken out of this trade? But we don't actually get taken out. So onto the 15, where can we target? So as I said before, the daily and the 4 hour are bearish, and at the moment on the 15 minute we are bullish. So what I was looking for, where could I take this trade up to? And I was looking at this supply zone right here, which is a 13.5 risk to reward. And if we just drop that down now and just see how this trade plays out. So we've tapped in as you saw before, and we do start moving away, but we do range around for a little bit. And the break even point for me would be this high here. So once we break this high, I would go break even. And we still range around a little bit. Eventually we come up, take out this high, and then I move to break even. So at this point now, I would be break even, and at this moment, I would be like, I'm not really bothered what happens here. If we go up to my take profit level, or if we come back and take me out for a break even, that's totally up to the market, and I'm just happy to see what happens from here. And then we come up, we get a nice surge in price, and I was thinking now, are we just going to be plain sailing up to my take profit level? But as you will see in a moment, that we do, start ranging around a little bit again, and it actually takes a while for this trade to play out. So we keep ranging around a little bit, but it's important just to stay neutral and just see what happens. Especially if you break even. If you break even, you've got nothing at risk, and just stay calm and see what happens with the trade. And eventually, what you'll see is this spike up in price here, which was actually CPI. So if you're trading FTMO or funding capital, you probably would have had to close this trade. But as you'll see is that we come down, CPI then took us up for a take profit of 13.5%. So yeah, that's just about it for this trade recap, guys. If this video did help you out or it did provide you any value, feel free to drop a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, drop in the comments any video suggestions you may have or anything you want to see from myself. But yeah, without further ado, guys, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.